That's too much.
Yeah. Which one?
Stop doing that. Settle down. I need you to be normal. Why can't you just fit in with everyone else?
My parents ask me this all the time.
Do you want what's best for your students, but are perhaps afraid of maybe insulting them with your critiques? Well, in this video, I'm going to show you how to constructively criticize your students without hurting their feelings. Let's go. Hello, my name is Cody. I've been working at a paint and sip for about 4 years now, and I've got children, adults, and half of my classes even have alcohol in them. This particular video was requested by a student who was also a teacher and said I was pretty okay at delivering constructive criticism and would like some advice on it. So this one's out to you. I'm going to be breaking this video down in a few sections. First section is the inner game side of things, why it's okay to criticize and how that's a good idea. And the second half is going to be actionable steps, how to do so. First things first, we are teachers and we've got a special role in society where we want to be able to get the best out of our students while maintaining a good, fun vibe. And part of that is having to criticize to get the best result from them. We'll be setting expectations on how to do that, but that's a little later on, so stick with me here. No further ado, let's go ahead and hop right in. Number one is actually going to be the hardest thing out of all of this. It's a continual thing that you'll always want to work on. Number one is honesty as a trait. Now, you're not as honest as you think you are, at least not in the sense I'm thinking. A lot of people, like myself, we say what we think we mean, but oftentimes we're shielding people from how we really feel, sugarcoating our message. This is all fine and dandy, however, if you sugarcoat your message too often, or if you praise your students too vehemently, they will actually grow to lose trust for you. Furthermore, they will assume that their result is okay as it is and won't actually improve. And then on the other hand, if you insult them too often, if you're only critiquing, then they will grow bitter and resentful. That's not going to help anybody improve either. Their result might, but your relationship for the future will not. And then right down the middle, if we don't say anything at all, your student may end up feeling left alone, as well as their result isn't going to improve. So number one is going to be honesty as a trait. Remain open with your students. Second is going to be you become a source of validation as you honestly speak your mind and you start to say the good things, but you also balance that out with the bad things people not always want to hear. They'll grow to trust you because they know you're going to speak your mind. So when you say something bad, they know you're telling the truth, but when you say something good, your words have that much more weight as well.
Broken.
Then good thing we don't need it.
It's too hard.
Go ahead and grab, not the story of your life, let's grab two of these brushes, raise them into the air, and repeat after me. And then the third thing is that you want to criticize your students. They are there to learn from you. Whether they're taking a paid course and it's required in school, or if they're coming to your painting class for just a couple of hours, maybe it's an online video, they are there to see you. And the reason is because they want to grow their skill. You can appeal to the lizard brain by flattering them, or you can appeal to the higher self by building self-esteem and giving them an actual skill to believe in themselves with. So that's going to be the inner game portion of this video. That's the first half. But let's hop into some actionable steps here. And I'm going to go ahead and start right away with what not to do. First things first, unwarranted criticism is never sexy. So you'll always want to be setting expectations. Is it okay if I step in?
Yeah.
Just want to show you one thing. I really like your color.
It's too red.
Well, it is a little bit bright here, but with unwarranted criticism, if people are not expecting it, I mean, this might be somebody who's new at a sport and they just want to show off what they've done. They're proud of it no matter what it is. That's not a good instance to criticize. yeah, they're always going to want to be having that expectation so they know that they're going to be criticized. But if you just up and start talking smack on somebody's product, they're really going to be upset with you. Let them know ahead of time, like, hey, I've already made all the mistakes that you are going to make. If I tell you how to do something, just trust in me here. I've only got your best interest in mind. So making sure that we have their best interest in mind, let them know ahead of time, set the expectation. I'm the type of person who criticizes, so be ready for that. Second is to never criticize publicly, especially online. If you're having some kind of political debate, that's never a good idea. Anyways, one instance with myself, we had a brand new teacher who had been painting for longer than me. She was very charismatic, lovely girl. I miss you, I'm sorry. But I commented right on her post. I was like, yo, this painting is not good. You could do better. Like, why are you posting this? She got so mad. She almost quit on me. So don't ever criticize online. Make sure that you do it in face, person to person. Never criticize publicly. Always have that as a private conversation. And so the actionable steps here that you do want to do, now that we know what not to do. Step number one, this one is key. It's going to be make it actionable. And a little subcategory there is to make it specific. So when you see something that you know needs to be worked on, let them know exactly what it is and how they can fix it. For the tippy tops of your tree here, you can actually do like a vertical stroke. You want to make sure your bristles are nice and glued together. So you press down, use that paint kind of to stick it together, and vertical, up and down. Little ones, little ones. There we go, nice and skinny, a little bit wider at the base. Look at that tree.
Cool. Thank you.
Not only that, but only criticize to their skill level. So if you're criticizing a new student and trying to tell them to do some kind of master trick or even intermediate thing, all that's going to do is frustrate them and discourage them from actually doing the sport or art later on in life. So only criticize to skill level, but more importantly, or as importantly, make it actionable, something that they can really knock out on the spot. The second action that you can deliver criticism with is obviously you're still being honest as a person and you're delivering specific actionable things, is now going to be a little trick that I learned from a book. You can find this book right here. It is Crucial Conversations. And I believe it's an offshoot of the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. I'll drop a link down below. I am an affiliate that does support the channel if you click on that link, so thank you very much. Also a book worth your while. But the next actionable step is going to be the compliment sandwich. So what does that mean? It's delivering first. That first piece of bread is a compliment, and then on top of that, you'll deliver the criticism, that kind of piece of meat in the middle there, and then back on top again, you're gonna want to deliver a compliment again. And I like that you've got like definite highlights and stuff like that. Don't be afraid to really like get it up. On the original composition, that middle part is nice and tall. Yep. Yeah, make it a little less uniform vertically, but it's looking pretty good otherwise. And then now that we know how to criticize, we're delivering specific things, people know that we're an honest person, we become a source of validation, so our good things we say have weight, our bad things to say have weight, and these specific actionable steps are in place here. Every once in a while you will mess up. You might criticize over what you mean to say, or you may criticize somebody who is unexpecting. Sometimes you're going to have to apologize. And this goes along with the territory. I will do an entire separate video on this, but first things first, when it comes to apologizing, if you've overstepped your boundaries, is to admit fault. You don't want to dig your feet in and stand your ground. That only ends up in a standoff, terrible negotiation tactic. It's actually going to be admit your fault, say that you're wrong, apologize, say where you're coming from, and kind of let them know, like, yo, this is what was going through my mind. Make it relatable, but don't expect them to understand when you say that. Don't expect to be forgiven when you say that. Just be like, yo, I know that was absolutely dumb. I apologize. Like, I really wish I wouldn't have said that. this is why this was going through my mind. And then statement of empathy also be like, but you know, for you, you're looking at me like, I probably come across as, oh, you think you're all smart, you think you're all cool, and I promise you that's not my goal. So statement of empathy just meaning like, show them that you understand how they feel and why they even feel that way. Listen, if somebody said that about me in front of my little sister or in front of the other students, I'd be really pissed as well. What the hell? That was my fault. I haven't done it this exact way before, so I'm happy to fix it otherwise. Is that a little bit better now?
Yeah, I think so. Perfect.
Cool. So just admit your fault, say why you're coming from where you're coming from, note that you understand why they're upset and where they're coming from, and then after that, let it be. Don't run around with your tail between your legs and become an easy target, because then they're gonna start picking back on you, and that'll change the whole dynamic of the relationship. Leave it alone after you've apologized and everybody knows where everybody's coming from. Alan Watts has an amazing quote. It says, "Muddy water is best cleared by letting it be." And that's how you apologize if you've overstepped your boundaries. If you want some more on that, go ahead and drop a comment below. Furthermore, question of the day. What student have you wanted to criticize? Have you ever seen a student get a worse result than you know they were capable of and you wished you had said something? Drop that instance down below. Also, push subscribe if you are interested in learning more about human dynamics, building relationships, and teacher to student relations. And then of course, if you hit that little bell, you will get notifications as well, so you know when these new hot tips are coming out. My name is CodytheP. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm gonna go get a haircut. Thank you guys for letting me criticize you. You're the best group that I have had all day long. 1, 2, 3, trees! Okay, we're gonna do a take 2 of that because I'm not gonna be embarrassed on my own vlog. Here we go. All right, you guys are the best group I've had all day. 1, trees. 2, bring the noise. 3, trees!